Hello and welcome to Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Works show, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are live on the new streamingnetwork.com, home of goingboldmedia.com, goingsolomedia.com, and WGSN-DB Going Solo Radio. If you like our content, please like, comment, and share and subscribe to help get our message out there and help us share the love. I am your co-host, Judy Forder, and I am here with my special co-host in peace, Miss Rickie Freedman. Rickie, thank you so much for joining us today.
I am so happy to be here, and perfect timing for a little more peace in our worlds and the world, right?
Yes, absolutely. Our topic today is Discover Reiki Rickie Style with Rickie and I have to tell you, that was Jen's idea. I was like, I need
that was awesome.
Give me something good. And she's like, I heard Discover Reiki with Rickie or Reiki Rickie Style.
Well, that's just perfect, and it's very cool that you both know me, so that allows the personalization.
Absolutely. Yes, Rickie and I met, I don't even know, years ago at probably a Spirit of Oneness or something along those lines. And she was on our other show, Journeys with Judy. I had the honor of interviewing her. Jen and I have taught some classes at your space, and we've interviewed you at Spirit of Oneness, I think 3 years.
Many times.
Yeah, many times. So we're actually going to be back this year doing interviews again. That we're very
awesome.
Yeah, we're excited to be back. So before we dive into discovering Reiki, Rickie Style, we're going to go through our normal segments. So I want to start with, you know what, Silverio, I forgot. We have to plug our message from Janice. She's always really good at doing this. This show is a part of our Peaceful Empowerment Works nonprofit. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, so that means any donation is tax deductible. We donate our time and energy to this show so that we can provide a platform for people to experience some laughter, joy, information, and a place for us to share our love with people. So if you would like to support that, please feel free to go to our website, peacefulempowermentworks.org, and hit the donation button. We do have expenses to cover for the show, and any donation is greatly appreciated. And Rickie, thank you for yours. Okay, good news. We got good news. Anybody who watched the show last week, I talked about my dog. My dog Bruno got out of our backyard a week ago last Friday. And we were looking. He had been gone. There was no sightings of him from Sunday through Wednesday. So Wednesday was a pretty heavy day around our house, and we started to get some feelings of disconnection from him. And honestly, we thought we weren't ever going to see him again. And this is a dog that I got 9 years ago at a time when I would have described myself as not an animal person, not a dog person, but I saw him and immediately knew I had to have him. Didn't understand why, but after some reflection, it was I got him because I knew he would love me at a time when I thought nobody else did. So there's the story there. So the good news is, bing! We got the 12:40 in the morning. We got a text that said, got him. So our Find Toby people that were helping us with trapping and all that, and putting flyers all over town, Donna reached out and said that was the text, got him. Flew out of bed, put coats and everything on, and ran to the field, and there he was. He was in the trap, and once we got close enough and he could smell us, he was so excited. So, I was concerned, like, how is he going to be after being out in the wild for 6 days and bringing him home and reacclimating? But we got him out of the trap. He ran around. He ran up to us. It's been amazing. So that is our good news. And I was searching for videos and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, what are you doing? You have the best news ever. Your baby's home.
That's perfect.
And I can say that baby's home because I know my daughter doesn't watch the show. She would be offended if she.
That's funny.
Yes, so my baby boy is home. I came out last week on the show, Rickie, and said, I'm coming out. I am a dog person. It is a real
There
thing.
you go. You needed him as much as he needed you, right?
Absolutely. So it has been great. He did have a little run-in with a skunk. So we have been, yes, we've been working with that. But other than that, his paw pads are a little sore.
Oh, poor baby. Give him
Yeah.
some Reiki.
Yes, I have been actually.
Love Reiki.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the best news I could come up with, at least in my experience in my world right now. So we're all very happy that Bruno has returned home. And people that watched the show last week, thank you. I had people reach out to me privately. Thank you for your prayers, your well wishes, and all your support. So, and again, find Toby. They are an amazing organization of volunteers. They guided us so well because, we have a shy dog that runs, not food motivated, and we were doing all of the wrong things before we were able to connect with them. So they really helped us. And it's very interesting, Rickie, because, the best way to trap a dog, an animal that's in fight or flight, is to sit in peace.
Yeah, because they're attracted to that energy, they will come. Yes.
Absolutely. So that's what we did. And we sat, and I went and sat in the field.
You felt better, and he
yes.
felt better. Yeah.
So yes, it was just very interesting because it's the same thing for people that are in fight or flight. It's not about running around and trying to fix. It's about sitting and providing a peaceful environment. Exactly. For them to get out of that space of fight or flight and fear. So yes, I found that very interesting.
Awesome. Perfect.
It made total sense once I wasn't in fight or flight anymore.
Perfect.
All right, moving right along to our weekly affirmation. Attitude is everything. Yes, and with Rickie here talking about Reiki, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to introduce the Reiki principles. And these are principles that I was taught when I did Reiki 1, and they're something that I hung by my bed, said every night before I went to bed, and every morning when I woke up in the morning. So it's just for today, I will give thanks. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will be kind to my neighbors and all living things.
Because we are all one and connected.
Amen. Absolutely. Now, Rickie has a little twist on the Reiki principles. Would you like to share?
Sure. So the essence of Reiki is living this work, being Reiki, right? Being conscious of the energy of all your thoughts, words, attitudes, and emotions, and how they affect your energy and everyone around you. So, and the Reiki healing principles, of course, are written in Japanese. And Japanese is not like letters of the alphabet, it's symbolic. So there's different interpretations of them, but all coming to the same essence.
Yes.
So I have been through some really challenging times in my own personal life, as we all have. And I found that in those times, just for today, which is of course about being mindful of, where your energy is in this moment, felt way too long for me. When you're in a really high stress, challenging situation, it becomes literally moment by moment, breath by breath, right? So during that time, and I remember a very specific time in my life when my mom became very ill and she was 2 hours away, and I was kind of, getting into a flustered place. I created what I call the Rickie healing principles. And it's basically about the two, releasing anger and releasing worry. So first, I would really like to acknowledge that these Reiki healing principles were not designed as affirmations as we know them, but they were designed as teaching tools and for deep meditation, really. And I fully honor that in order to live Reiki by the rest of those Reiki healing principles, to live a life of oneness, to live a life of integrity, and live a life of gratitude, they are showing what needs to go to fill up with those more positive, higher frequency vibrations. And so instead of just for today, I release all worry, what came to me is, in this moment, I choose faith. Again, the moment by moment. And I love that choice word. It honors and acknowledges our humanness, right? That we are going to feel these things, and we can make the choice to bring it back. So I don't mean faith by any kind of religious standpoint. There's nothing, connected to any formal religion about Reiki, receiving it, sharing it, learning it, right? Becomes a spiritual path for many, a connected path, right? I mean faith by the deepest knowing that even though you're in a challenging situation in that moment, that you're not going to get stuck there. You know that there's purpose for it all, even though you can't figure it out when you're in the midst of it. When you get to the other side of it, and you'll be able to see all the things you learned, all the gifts that you gained by going through that experience that maybe you couldn't have any other way. And it creates the person, and the energy that you radiate are now. So that's what I mean by faith. In this moment, I choose faith. It's gonna be okay, right?
Yes.
And then in this moment, instead of anger, I say, I choose peace. I live these Reiki principles every day. I recite them over and over to myself and out loud. And I am so conscious of the vibrations of words themselves that I don't choose to say worry and anger all day long. That's not the energy I want to attract to myself, right? So to me, peace is what I want to bring, what I want to attract, what I want to radiate. And so, I might be kind of all worked up, and I take that really deep breath, bring it back. In this moment, all is well. And I choose peace. Because from the place of peace is where it settles my being. It helps support my immune system and wellness. And it allows me to continue to be a healing presence. So in that particular situation, it allowed me to calm my being, my nervous system, so that I could share distance Reiki with my mom, so that it would be beneficial to her, right? To create, as we spoke about earlier, Judy, what I call the vibration of possibility. So what I mean by that is when you share Reiki, which there is no time or space with energy, right? That's in traditional medicine, they call that non-local healing. It's a real thing, right? So you can't choose what happens for someone else. We don't know what's in anyone else's highest good, right? Sometimes we don't even know what's in our own highest good. Right? So we just send with the intention of peace and healing for whatever is in the highest good. We can't make anything change, any situation, any other person. That's not our job. So By sharing this energy, we create what I call the vibration of possibility. So that as people and situations are ready to shift and heal, it becomes easier for that to happen,
Mm,
easier for them to get a sense of the light. And the
yes.
more of us that do this together, like you and I and everyone watching, right? Because we're all made of this energy, whether you've had Reiki class or not, when you
Mhm.
share from the place of healing in your heart, the more of us that do this together, healing becomes exponential. It becomes more powerful than just 1 + 1 = 2.
Yes.
So, this is really, really important work always, but in these times we find ourselves in,
Mhm.
especially so, to keep bringing ourselves back to our place of healing and peace. Peace
Mhm.
was what I meant to say, and to radiate that energy. Yeah,
I love that. I love that. I love that. The
it feels
in
meaningful to me.
Yes, in this moment I choose. That's very empowering.
Oh, yes, bringing
Uh,
yourself back moment by moment. You
yes.
have another choice. Don't
Yes.
take out the whip, right? It's all okay. Just smile, take a deep breath, and make another choice
Yeah.
over and over as many times as you need to, right?
Yes.
Until it becomes a more natural way of being and feeling.
Mhm. Yeah. That's wonderful. That would have been very helpful for me because I I always tell people that Reiki was my gateway drug. And having those Reiki principles, just for today, I will not get angry. Well, I had a 4-year-old kid who was very strong willed, and that would be blown out of the water after hitting, my feet hitting the floor 20 minutes later. So
Hmm.
that was like, oh, I'll try again tomorrow. This is very empowering.
Right.
I love it.
Absolutely. And we all have our stuff like that.
Mm,
This is a very common question of people that study this work.
yes.
How do I stay in this, right? This
Yes.
wonderful place, that we all feel, you know, in the challenging situations around us,
Yes.
challenging workplaces, challenges, at home.
Hmm.
And, you know,
It's
the The only answer is to continue every day to do your own work. That will shift the vibration that you radiate, and everything around you has the possibility of shifting based on that vibration. So you can
beautiful.
just be you. Yeah.
Be you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the most powerful thing you can be is you.
That's right. And that is the essence of Reiki, is
Hmm.
learning to be your true self in the world, right?
Yes.
Letting go of all that old messaging and the messages that you give your own self. I call them the little gremlin voices of unworthiness, right? And knowing that you are worthy, you are valuable, you're here for a purpose,
Hmm.
right? And we all need those reminders over and over again. And we have
Absolutely.
as many choices and chances as we need to get it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a great place for us to segue into pearls of wisdom.
Mm.
Yeah. And this was important last week when I was going through it. Um, because I had somebody say, remember, you can be at peace and sad. So when I
Mm.
saw this, I thought it would be great for our further conversation. You can be both vulnerable and strong, successful, and I am aware that's spelled wrong, and humble, disciplined and relaxed, honest and kind,
Yeah.
likable and have boundaries. It's not
Yes.
either or, you can be both.
Right.
And that's, I know Rickie and I were having a conversation when she started in this and when I started in this. Reiki wasn't as mainstream. People didn't know the word, and it was seen as very woo woo. and there was a very specific image of, you know, always being light and love, and everything's always great and wonderful, and, you know, you never see bad things, you never have a negative thought. And that's bullshit, people. There is nothing true about that. And this isn't woo-woo. It's proven by quantum physics.
Yes,
and Rick,
it's just,
you know, Rick has her own feelings on it.
Well, there's two parts to that. And yes, you know, I am very conscious of language, as I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. And especially those of us who are doing this kind of work in the world should not belittle it, which is what we're doing it, by calling it things like woo-woo. Exactly. Right? It is very natural. It's the energy that we're all made of. It's just that we haven't learned about it in our Western culture, right? Reiki's from Japan, and in the East, you know, they're more in tune with their energy and intuition. And we are remembering that truth about ourselves, right? It's not something that new that you get when you learn Reiki. No. It's about uncovering it, right? Remembering that. Right. And, you know, Reiki is a total path of integrity, right? It's not just that you see the world through rose-colored glasses. Oh, everything's fine. I'm wonderful. You are very real with everything, you know, with how you feel and what you see, right? And you use your Reiki to help bring you back to that place of peace and comfort. And what happens very quickly along the line is you see it all, but you become more of a witness to the drama rather than being sucked into the drama. Yes. Right? And that's really different perspective. Yes. And we are all human. We're spiritual beings, but we're having a very human experience. Right? And we're going to catch ourselves sometimes. But with Reiki, you learn what your place of peace feels like inside and how much better it feels. You learn how to get yourself there much easier and quicker and stay there a little bit longer. We are all going to continue to have lessons and challenges. That's part of what we're here for. And we have that moment by moment choice, right? Absolutely. You know, so, you know, the law of attraction is physics. It's science, everybody. It's based on energy. Yep. So, you know, you talked about attitude. You know, there's a saying, you know, attitudes are contagious. Is yours worth catching, right? You know, I like that. You know, are you radiating an attitude of gratitude? Because there is always things to be grateful for. And that is an extremely powerful practice to shift your vibration every day. Just start and end every day with 3 to 5 things you feel grateful for. I've timed my students to write 3 things they feel grateful for. The longest it took anyone was 90 seconds. So are you worth 90 seconds to totally shift your vibration? Because what you're going to find is you're going to be paying attention and seeking out things to remember to put in your gratitude journal all day long. So it's going to keep you in that higher vibration. Right? Yeah. So, you know, that's an easy practice that everyone can do. And it really shifts how you start your day, what you attract in your day, and lets you go to sleep on a peaceful note.
I love that. Are you worth the 90 seconds?
Yes. Right. You know, I always think to myself, I have a very, very busy practice, as you know. Yeah. I have my Reiki clients. I manage a Reiki space with other practitioners. I teach classes. I create workshops. I have events. And I remind myself, you know, I have the same number of hours in my day as Einstein, Mother Teresa, Gandhi. It's what you choose to make your priorities, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes. And right now I have to choose to go to commercial. We will be right back with more from Rickie. And we're back.
To the music. Laughter is a great way to raise your vibration. And boy, do we need more joy in the world, right? I love that about you, Judy.
Yeah, if there's nothing else, there will be laughter.
That's right. Because really, from a observant perspective, it is all kind of humorous.
Sit on that observation deck of non-judgment. It's kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Rickie Freedman. She is here with us today to introduce us to Reiki, we've talked a lot about that, some of the principles and things already. And honestly, if you're all right with it, I don't want to dive too deep into your bio, other than the fact that you come from the medical world.
Yes, I'm a physical therapist by background, so I'm a big believer and practicer of integrative medicine, believing that each culture and tradition brings a piece of the truth of the whole. And when you put that all together, that's holistic medicine. Right.
Yes.
Including Western medicine, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it goes right along with not everything is either or, not everything is black or white. Where things are created to complement one another.
Right.
So you coming from the PT world, the medical world, and transitioning, using your tools together, Absolutely. They complement one another with the knowledge that you gained from being a physical therapist and the knowledge that you have through this Reiki energy work. They complement one another.
Absolutely. It's a perfect blend. And I have used Reiki, with my physical therapy in the past. I've been full-time Reiki since 2008. And certainly my knowledge and wisdom and background with the body and imbalances and such really serves me well. But the other way it serves me is that I teach Reiki for healthcare professionals. And I'm very comfortable integrating and conversing with traditional healthcare practitioners. And, I love that. I think that's an important part of my education role with Reiki.
So when you teach people from the medical profession what Reiki is, what's your first description? Because there could be people watching that have no idea what Reiki is. We've talked a lot about it already.
Okay.
Really don't have a foundation of what it is.
Yes. So there's two parts to that answer. Okay. And the first part that most people are thinking of when they ask that question is, what is a Reiki session, right?
Right.
So when I answer that, I'm very much tuned into the person and their energy and my intuition so that I can find the languaging that is right for them in that moment, right? But I might say something like, Reiki is a very gentle and very deeply relaxing hands-on healing, originally from Japan, now practiced worldwide, primarily for stress management, balance, and inner peace. And I might continue by saying it's based on the science that everything alive is energy, including us, down to our smallest cellular level. We are vibrating beings. So what happens during your Reiki session is that your system will draw whatever energy you need to fill up those places, right? And maybe there's places, energy that you've been holding on to a little too long that's not serving you, that you're ready to release. And that's the balancing process. So when our systems are in a better place of balance, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, then our bodies can help us heal naturally, like we are all designed to do. Yeah, so that's the first part of the answer. And the second part is what the truth of Reiki is becoming your and living your true self in the world. In other words, being and living Reiki everywhere that you are, becoming conscious of the energy of every thought, word, emotion, and attitude, and how that affects your well-being and your immune system, how it affects each other, and on out into the world. So yeah, it's a very powerful practice. Um, for those who resonate with this work, and I trust that process.
Yes. And you said this already. We all have it within us.
Right. I mean, that's what it's the energy that we have all throughout our life from when we are infants. Reiki training doesn't give that to us, it helps show it to us, right?
Yes.
Because we're just not as conscious aware of energy in our culture as they are in the East, right? This is part of their traditional medicine, right? So when we blend this with our traditional medicine, getting to those underlying mental, emotional, and stress related sources of much of our physical, then we can have really deep and true healing. So it's a beautiful, very gentle, very powerful work. Your body deep within knows exactly what you need. And the higher energy of Reiki has intelligence. And I look at it as a conversation, and I allow that conversation to flow. And the way that I can do that, allow that energy just to flow through me and never from me, and never taking on your stuff or anyone else's, is by doing my own work every day, right? Which
Yes.
I have affectionately named our Reiki aerobics, what we need to do every day. So, do you want me to share what that is?
I do. Your daily spiritual practice.
I'll do it quickly because I know we're on a time frame. But of course, one of the most important things you learn in your Reiki 1 class is self-healing. It's very easy to do. So your self-Reiki is part of that, including recitation or meditation with those Reiki healing principles. Just to remind you every day of where you want your energy to be and what you want to attract.
Yes.
Second part of Reiki aerobics is finding a grounding practice. Reiki is very opening and connecting, and we need to live our lives on the earth and function in the world every day. And in order to be able to, share our gifts in our unique way with the world, we need to stay grounded, right? Consistency and persistence and all those qualities that we get by that grounding balance to keep our own self in balance. And the third part of Reiki aerobics is breath work and meditation to practice building and radiating your light bigger and brighter every day so that your light leads the way. You're feeling it in every circumstance that you go into. Knowing powerfully that anything less than light will either be healed by your light or will go away. And that becomes a very different way of being in the world.
Yes. Yes. Please say that part again. Your Reiki light shining so bright.
So when you practice building and radiating your light, you can choose to enter every space and situation with your light leading the way. It's science, it's vibration. Anything less than light won't vibrationally fit for you anymore. So it will either be healed by your light or will go away.
Yes.
So yeah, it's beautiful work. Yeah, that's called, in my perspective, becoming a healing presence in the world.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, one of the ways we're going to move into your books, because I want to make sure we get to your books. You did a children's book, a coloring book, and you have a children's program.
I do. So I completed this during COVID, and it's called Reiki Rickie Shares Reiki Kids. Here, let me get my manual here. I'll show you that in a little bit. So it's a manual actually for the kids. So this is the entire Reiki story that they get to, including the Reiki healing principles, including sharing Reiki with each other. And I don't know how much you can see. I'm in a little corner here. With pets and plants and family members, including a little bit of history of the Reiki. They get everything the adults get, but in child-friendly language. Right. So I also teach a virtual program if anybody is interested in how to use the coloring book to share Reiki with your kids. It's for parents, it's for teachers, it's for other Reiki practitioners and teachers. It's a wonderful way for them to start learning to manage their energy in the world and be comfortable being their true selves in the world.
Yes,
so I'm very proud of that. And you held up baby Reiki Fluffy Puppy, because the story is shared by Reiki Rickie and Fluffy Puppy, who was my son's original puppy dog when he was little. So all the kids get the manual and a Fluffy Puppy. It's very comforting. I bless them all with Reiki. But in their way, if let's say grandma's sick and they can't go visit, they can hold Fluffy Puppy and think loving and healing thoughts and send them to grandma. And it's really awesome. And it's very natural for kids. They see it, they feel it, they haven't been cultured out of it, right? They don't have the same resistances and filters that we've developed because of not paying attention to our energy. So if we can start them out young, I teach this 5 years old and up, they can be the healers and the way showers in the world.
Jenna Marie McFadden, that's awesome.
Thank you, Jenna Marie. I think it is too, and it feels really important. Of course, it's available in my space in Harrisburg, ReikiSpace and Learning Place, Reiki by Rickie. But it's also available on Amazon, so anyone can get it anywhere in the world and share it with their kids. Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about, emotional intelligence in kids and regulation. Reiki is a great way to empower these children because it's already there.
Yes.
It's giving them that greater understanding. So yes, I am in 100% full support. And I'm glad we could promote that here today. We had a cute little video that Rickie did 2 years ago that actually showed up on my Facebook page that I think we're going to bypass, but I'll put it in the comments.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is. It's really cute. It was, and cool. But I know, it's also, it's other places too. Yeah.
Yes. The video is other places.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A little blast from the past. Yeah. Now you also have a book for adults.
Yes, I do. So I'm so proud of this. This was launched 11/11 of 23, and it's called Radiating Our Reiki Light. Reiki healing through real stories from clients, students, practitioners, and teachers. So I collected other people's stories from all over the country and one from Canada. And they're not professional writers. They're just sharing their heartfelt stories of how Reiki has saved and changed their lives. Based on their stories, we divided them into 17 topics, which became the chapters for the book. Everything from learning Reiki to first experiences, Reiki and grief, Reiki and relationships, right? Reiki and animals, 17 different topics. And then I wrote in the beginning of each of the chapters, sharing my personal stories as well as my teaching and philosophies. So I am very, very proud of this. I think it's really unique. There's a lot of books on Amazon about Reiki by Reiki professionals, which is amazing and awesome. But this is by everyday people, some of them. Some are other Reiki teachers as well. And my hope is that by just holding this book, you feel the healing. You know, they're all blessed, right? As my son wrote me a recommendation on Amazon. He wrote, every story is like receiving a Reiki mini session. And that was totally unsolicited. So I love that because that's my intention for this book. And hopefully you'll be able to resonate with other people's words and think, maybe that might be interesting for me to think about and to try.
Beautiful. And they can get that on Amazon, correct?
Yep, ReikiSpace, a few other places, but it's available all over the world on Amazon. I really want to get this word out to the world.
Yes. So, perfect segue into Reiki Around Our World event that you have coming up.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, good. You have the flyer. I don't need to hold it up. Awesome.
She's going
Yes, I'm very excited about this. I recently was guided to go to Greece and was told that there was something there for me with my work. And so this idea came to me. I'm connected with all these people from around the world. We've got Ireland, the Netherlands, Canada, and where am I missing here?
Greece.
And Greece, right. I connected with someone in Greece. And so we're going to have a conversation over Zoom on World Healing Day, which is Sunday, April 27th. So anyone can get the Zoom link. And if you're local, we're also going to have a live audience in ReikiSpace so that you can actually interact and ask questions. And we're going to just share a unified healing, the oneness of Reiki. What is the same everywhere in the world? What things maybe are unique in different areas? What are the common questions that we all get? And how do we answer them in our own unique ways? So I'm very excited about this. I just think we all need to recognize how connected that we really all are. We bring different and interesting perspectives. We're all unique, and energetically, we are all one. We are all connected. How we treat ourselves and each other affects the wholeness of our world. And we just need some love and peace and healing in our world. So because of that, all 5 of us are donating our services for World Healing Day. This is a totally free event. All you need to do is reach out to me and I will send you that Zoom link. And I'm hoping to get a really large global audience to really start sharing this in a bigger way. And we've got some great speakers and it's going to be such an interesting conversation. I can't wait.
No, I can't wait either. That's going to be amazing. So I keep having one question pop in is, do you do distance attunements? Like, do you teach classes over Zoom or are all your classes in person?
So during COVID shutdown, what I did was I divided my classes into 2 parts. The parts that I felt you could learn virtually, but I really wanted everyone back in the classroom together to receive the attunements and to be able to practice and share with each other. I think that's a really important part of the way that I share Reiki, and that felt right in my integrity. So I share distance healing all the time, but my Reiki classes are primarily in person.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah, there's no one right or wrong. I have to just do that what feels right in my integrity. And that's what
Absolutely.
we do. Yeah.
Um, so if people got a group together that wanted to learn from you, would you travel to teach that class?
I would definitely, I will say yes.
Okay, great. I know we got to roll. So
Yes, I feel like traveling is part of what I'm meant to do. I just received an astrology reading that kind of really affirmed that. So I anticipate more traveling, more speaking, more sharing to bigger audiences and on a more global level. So that's the first time I'm saying that out loud to all of you. Which of course empowers it. And I am saying to source, to the universe, that, I will say yes. And I've learned long ago in my journey that the more something makes me squirm in my seat, the more I know I need to say yes. I just want to continue to share in the way that I am meant to in the world. And I love this.
yes, and we are
Yeah.
beyond grateful that you are doing this. So, Varia,
Thank
could you
you.
flash up the screen with contact info real fast, and we'll say goodbye. I promise. There it is. So, if you want to contact Rickie, website www.reikibyrickie.com, phone number 717-599-2299. Go to her website, Rickie@reikibyrickie.com. And then there's a link for the Reiki around the world that I will screenshot and put in the comments as well. So, Rickie, I want to thank you so much for being here now with us. It has been great to hear updates from you and to share your Reiki love with our audience. So,
Yes, much peace and love and healing from my heart to yours. And Judy, I love you always. You're awesome.
thank you so much. I love you too. To our viewers, thank you for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember, as Janice says, you are not alone. And don't ever forget that you are awesome. Thank you, Silveria. Thank you, Rickie. Bye-bye.
Bye.